Holy shit! Jesus Christ! Oh my god! Good lord! I can't believe it! What is happening? I have a confession to make, guys. I'm sorry, but it happened again. I'm hyped. So, how about that Capcom showcase, huh? The previous Sunbreak trailers are small fry, peanuts, nothing compared to what we got this time. Originally, I was going to cover the entire showcase, Monster Hunter or not, but the Sunbreak news was so juicy. And honestly, y'all are just here for that, so screw everything else. It's Monster Hunter time. We have a whole lot to get to, and I want to share my thoughts as much as I can, so I am Peak Ginge, and let's jump straight in. Straight out the gate, we got a look at a brand new, or rather a new take on a returning map, the second generation jungle. Now, this is some cool shit. I personally have always liked this locale because it always had so many different feels on the one map. There's beach sections, forested sections, cliff sides, and caves. It's a really diverse locale and a great pick for a Gen 5 interconnected ground-up remake, and will fill a jungle tropical map role that the Flooded Forest didn't quite hit. With several shots of different vistas, we get a look at what appears to be areas 3, 8, the base camp, and the inside of the island temple from area 10, which was previously not accessible, much like the temple in the Flooded Forest. The traversal gameplay here looks great. I'm really vibing with this map, but what comes next is where my brain began to melt. A cinematic shot shows our first look at the HD versions of the OG raptor bird wyverns, Velociprey, but they are far from the stars of the show. A Nargacuga flies in to murder them, but wakes up another sleeping wyvern. A wyvern that people have wanted to see for years. Motherfucking Espinas. Holy shit, dude. Now, to the untrained eye, Espinas may just seem like another flying wyvern, but it's what Espinas represents that has people very excited, myself included. Espinas is the poster child for Monster Hunter Frontier, the MMO-style Monster Hunter game that has been shut down for a few years now, and whilst there are folks working hard to get it up and running once again, many are just begging for them to add the monsters and mechanics to the mainline series. And with Espinas now in Sunbreak, the floodgates are open. Anything is possible. Being one of the unlucky ones, I have never actually played Frontier, and thus I'm largely unfamiliar with the monster. I just know it likes to sleep and has poisonous fireballs, but god damn am I excited to take it on. This has me super pumped. We got some gameplay of Espinas charging, sleeping, and taking on a Kushala Daora, a fight it doesn't seem like he wins, but we are yet to see the whole thing, and then we get the formal reveal of the Yang to Shogun Senator's Yin, Daimyo Hermitaur. Daimyo does its pretty standard thing of shielding your attacks, and even has this cool jump stab attack that may be an old move, but I don't remember it personally, followed by some actual gameplay of Shogun as well, all of which is pretty cool. My overall feeling on these two are that they're a welcome addition for returning monsters because they differ so much to everything else, only really being somewhat similar to Rakna Kadaki. And I just hope to either see a brand new crab or the return of Shengaren with them. Or maybe even Daikun Zamuza, who knows. With the crabs out of the way, we get to finally see Astalos in action. High energy, aggressive attacks are what Astalos is known for, and it seems that it is not going to disappoint this time round. We get to see it square off with Mizutsune, which it seems to win, but I imagine the fight ends in a tie as they are supposed to be on the same power level, each being members of the Fated Four. I'm quite a fan of Astalos, so I'm looking forward to taking him on as Sunbreak. Astalos doesn't get to stay around for long though, as we get our first look at a brand new subspecies, Pyre Rakna Kadaki. Where the base form is fire, this one appears to take on the blast element, which was largely skipped in base Rise, and almost seems like a variant as opposed to a subspecies in my opinion, but the line between monster variations is so thin on some occasions that you can't even see it, so that's fine I suppose. I wouldn't call myself a huge Rakna Kadaki fan, but shout outs to all of you out there who are. We then get a look at some new terrain interaction with the continuation of the hazards introduced in World as this poor Nargacuga cops it, followed by another glimpse of the follower system, and then a quick sizzle reel that shows the Ceregios gunlance, as well as what looks like the Espinas charge blade being used to just dunk on an Anjanath, which looks amazing. I might have to give Charge Blade a go and Rise after this. Then we got the bigger reveal that everybody has been waiting for since Iceborne. A poor little boggy ambushed by a Ghost Harag, which I for a split second actually thought was a Ghost Harag subspecies. It's not. Followed by the famous Black Mist that is instantly recognizable to anybody who started the series in 4th gen or earlier. Gore Magala is back, baby. Gore proceeds to continue its tradition of landing on and crushing monsters, and we get to see it in all of its glory with multiple clips showing a large array of its well-established moveset. Also, it seems way bigger than it used to be. Espinas was the same, almost like they just made it Shigaru size. I'm guessing they're just going to consider it an Elder Dragon now, whereas previously its classification was unknown. Gore being back is awesome, and it's a pretty big deal as well. It implies the return of the Frenzy Virus, which just adds further diversity to the status conditions we're getting in Sunbreak, on top of the brand new Blood Blight and the returning Bleeding. It also cements the idea that the developers sat down and said, alright, give me a list of all the monsters we didn't put in Iceborne. Okay, yep, cool. put them all in Sunbreak. Because so far, every Sunbreak reveal is a unique returning monster that we didn't get in World. Pretty exciting stuff. Also, fun little detail here is that one of the hunters is wearing the Caravaneer set. You know, the guy from 4th gen, and you know what that means. Guild Mom, 100% confirmed, no question about it, definitely showing up for sure. The logo pops up and we are well fed. But that ain't it. How could we forget about dessert? On top of everything, we also got the upcoming lineup for the free title updates to be expected after release. And it just keeps getting better. A tower in front of a giant full moon, and already old school fans are losing their goddamn minds. And just to cap off the presentation that was already massive, we got a glimpse at yet another fan favorite, Lucent Nargacuga. This silver colored Nargacuga was in Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate as an endgame monster and basically cranks Nargacuga up to 11. It has the ability to turn invisible and poison you with its tail barbs, as well as just doing a shitload of damage. As for my feelings on it, Lucent Narg is an awesome version of a monster I'm not particularly fond of, and if this opens the door for brand new and returning rare species that aren't just the silver and gold wraths, I'm here for it, and I'm excited. Speaking of rare species, the second to last bit of new info we got was this screen right here, and I'll pop up for this part so you don't have to stare entirely at a still screen for like 3 minutes. Hey, what's up? We got the roadmap of the free title updates ready to go, and there is some very, very interesting information to go over here. First up is the previously mentioned Lucent Nargacuga update. With it comes a new arena to fight it and presumably other monsters as well, known as the Forlorn Arena, previously known creatively as Tower 3. It is also coming with, quote, several other monsters, and below that says the inclusion of rare species and special species monsters. And this is where it gets a little bit weird. Now, Lucent Narg itself is a rare species monster, and the classification in general is used to define, get this, rare versions of monsters that are usually very secluded and much more difficult to fight than the base form. This includes things like Gold and Silver Rathian and Rathalos and Abyssal Lagiacrus. So with that being said, it's entirely likely that Lucent is the only rare species in this update, or we could get something like Molten Tigrex, which would be pretty sick. But what's got me confused is the mention of special species. Now this could just be taken as a special version of a monster or something lost in translation, just like the Apex monsters in Rise. But special species are a specific classification that previously only applied to Monster Hunter Explore, the Japan and previously Canada exclusive mobile game. And they're all kind of weird. For the most part, they're crossover monsters like the Ava 1 Brachydios and the Dalsim Giganox, so I have no idea how this is going to be handled. Is Sunbreak just going to embrace the weird and get really wacky with it, having a bunch of crazy crossover monsters, or will we get pretty tame ones like Flame Rathalos and Blackstar Volvodon? Or even still, will it just be something entirely new and just a big coincidence? Only time will tell, I guess. The next segment mentions new subspecies, rare species, and powered up monsters, and going off the silhouettes, my bet is on the Espinas rare species, which I assume will finally get a proper name, and a brand new subspecies or rare species of Mizutsune. I also imagine Gold and Silver Wrath will probably make an appearance here. As for the additional subspecies, that's anyone's guess, and I personally don't really want to predict anything until we know the full base Sunbreak roster, so we'll have to wait and see there. Powered up monsters is also an interesting way to phrase it, and I'm curious what exactly that means. Does it reference the addition of more Apex monsters, or perhaps something akin to Tempered and Arc Tempered from World? Maybe Frenzy monsters are back. It's gonna be hype either way. The third segment doesn't give us much to go off, but once again mentions special species and powered up monsters, and the last one makes it seem like Sunbreak is gonna get at least a year's worth of support, which, like the entire trailer, is awesome. And Capcom's commitment to Monster Hunter is absolutely fantastic, dude. We stay winning. Last but not least in this long trail of dubs was the announcement that the demo will be live, well, today actually, and gives you the opportunity to take on the Great Azuchi, Tetranodon, and Astalos, along with a super hard quest to fight Malzeno. Honestly, I'm torn, really. I kind of want to just wait a couple more weeks and experience it all together with the full game, but I also just really want to play Sunbreak real bad, so we'll have to see how the next few weeks go and whether the temptation is too great for me. And that about sums it up really, and man, this might be the best Monster Hunter trailer ever made. It was just non-stop surprise after surprise. Every single part of it had me gasping for air, dude. It was insane. That's how you do a trailer, folks. Everyone else take notes. Capcom knows what they're doing. Personally, I'm most excited to finally take on Espinas, get lost in the jungle map, and go up against Lucent Nargacuga once again. But this trailer was a goddamn 10 out of 10, man. That's my final verdict. That'll just about do it for this video, guys. Let me know down in the comments what you're most looking forward to from this brand new trailer. Sunbreak is right out in the corner, and I'm afraid I've got myself all hyped up. Oh well, it's sure to be a good time. Stay tuned, folks, and I'll catch you on the next one. See you later.